I don't recognize everybody. Some of you maybe... Are you recently coming? Or have we met before? Yes.
Yeah, recently.
We haven't met before, I don't think. Maybe we met before, I don't know how
Yes,
to... We have, good, good. I go to so many places, I can't remember clearly here and there. You have recently started coming?
Yes.
Well,
Yesterday.
since yesterday.
No, a bit more, but we met today.
We met at the program, yes? You came yesterday, that's right. I thought we saw you before. Oh my goodness. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Not only have I got a new hat, I've got a garland. Wonderful. So today we're going to make a little PowerPoint presentation. You may have to adjust your seats. Devotees over there will see nothing, practically speaking. I don't know if they understood what I said, but devotees over there will see nothing. Everything's going to be on the wall there, it looks like. So I reckon it would be a good idea to readjust your seats, unless you want to, unless you've got special eyes that come out the side of the head. If you do, well, you're very special. You're very special anyway. If anyone wishes, you can move the seats into a position which is, you don't have to strain your necks looking at an odd angle. You can look straight at the screen. This is an amateur presentation. I've done many variations over decades. This is one of them. Quite simple, yeah, good. That was the next request, was to turn off the main lights. And are you okay over there? Are you okay? You can see? Okay. Are you in the kitchen, Krishna Loka?
Yes, Maharaj. We can hear though.
I'm very happy you're in the kitchen, but we're at the same time, because I know that means Krishna will be happy. Radharani will be happy. And Lord Nityananda will be happy. Lord Nityananda, he's, as some of you are not familiar with, he's a very special form of the Lord. Actually, officially we celebrate on Monday, but of course for various reasons we're here today. On Monday we'll be in Sydney. So we're going to try to... Everybody likes good association, I guess. What is good association for one may not be good association for another, according to our own particular condition. Some people like to associate with drunkards, some people with criminals, some people with whatever you're into, I guess. If you're into music, musicians, and politicians, and sportsmen, and whatever you are, if you're gay, you like to associate with people who are gay. It's birds of a feather flock together. And if we want to become some particular, whatever, thing, musician, generally you associate with people. I was reading today, George Harrison, how he associated with Ravi Shankar. And that way he became a sitar player also. We associate with persons who have the qualities we want to obtain. Qualities are developed by association, primarily. It means the consciousness of the living entity, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. It acts just like the wind or the air. When it comes into contact with various objects, it takes on the flavor or the qualities of that particular object, to some extent at least. If the air comes in contact with the roses, it has the flavor, even though it's passed over that area, the wind after some distance at least will sustain or contain the flavor of those, or the scent of those roses. And if it's a sewage pit, then it may smell unpleasant. By association, and our consciousness is likened to the air, so you're going to need the harmonium, Rasika, if it's okay. It's like that, by association. So if you want to become something, of course the human being is not exactly like the air, we have some kind of free will there. So we choose our association a little bit. We're not completely helpless, although it is determined materially speaking, it's determined according to our past desires and karmas. But basically the living entity has free will. And because of our free will, we're inclined to associate with various types of people. Or you feel more comfortable in the association. So if you want to become Krishna conscious, if you want to go back to the spiritual world, this may be a funny term if you're a newcomer here, going to the spiritual world. Let's say in terms self-realized, let's put it like that, become self-realized. That includes ultimately a full realization of our actual identity, not just the physical or mental one, but the spiritual one also. And the nature of the absolute. Absolute truth is understood in different features. Most people understand the absolute as a spiritual energy, all-pervasive eternal energy, Brahman. Brahmanti Paramatmiti Bhagavaniti Shabdyate. That the absolute truth is understood in three features. Brahman meaning the all-pervading spirit. Paramatma means sometimes people talk about, being guided by a super soul or a God within or something. That aspect of the absolute. But the most, for a Vaishnava, aspiring, one who wants to become a devotee, or whatever you wish to call it, the form of Bhagavan is the objective. That's our goal. Or we know by the name Krishna usually. To attain a relationship with Krishna, awaken, develop a relationship with Krishna. And if you want to have a relationship with someone who's very special, usually you inquire from those who know him, or you get to know him through those who know him or her. So similarly with Krishna. And there's a system of, let's say, developing an intimate relationship with Krishna. And that system is known by Krishna himself. Evam parampara praptamimam rajasho. We go through the parampara, the disciplic succession, to learn that truth and to develop a relationship with the truth. So within that disciplic succession, I'll say within it, the origin of that disciplic succession, there may be many origins in terms of our present or our particular universal cosmic presence, and different lines of teachers, but they have their original source in Lord Nityananda. He is the Adiguru, the origin, the original Guru. And it's understood from those Shastras that understand this point, or not say understand, describe it, that to approach Krishna one has to go through Lord Nityananda. He may be present in different ways, he expands in different forms, but the principle is the same. We have to go through that, confidentially speaking, we have to go through that media of Lord Nityananda, which means through the Guru, which also means going back also to Lord Nityananda. And ultimately, of course, we understand that Krishna, origin of everything, including origin of Nityananda, is the origin of everything, and his expansion is Srimati Radharani, who is his most confidential consort. She also expands in many ways, but without her blessings, no one can actually have access to Krishna. But she doesn't give her blessings unless one gets the favor of Lord Nityananda. So it's very important to get the favor of the Guru, the favor of the disciplic succession, the favor of Lord Nityananda. So today, let us try to try to develop a link with Lord Nityananda, at least by hearing about him, by entering into his association to whatever degree we can, and praying for his mercy. So that's, you could say, we hope, one of our intentions today. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvasesha Sanyavari Paschacha Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Jnanatimandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Hare Krishna. Nityananda Trayodasi. Trayodasi is a, like we say, can we say like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like that, different day. The ancient Vedic calendar is divided up into generally 30 days, more or less. And Trayodasi is the, what does that mean? In English, what does it mean? 13th day of the month, the 13th day. This is the month of, I guess it's the month of Magh. So he appears on this day, 13th month, the day, month of Magh, very auspicious day in the Vedic calendar. And that's pretty much understood. There's very little said about Lord Nityananda's appearance in Shastra. When we say Shastra, we're referring to obviously recent Shastras which have been compiled by elevated saints and sages. I don't know if there's any mention of him in the ancient Vedic texts or the Puranas. I've not heard. But he's not mentioned either even by the Goswamis. You won't find any mention of Lord Nityananda by the 6 Goswamis. Of course, we see Krishnadas Kaviraj mentions him. But generally speaking, his information about Lord Nityananda is very little confidential. We see that in different scriptures, primarily Chaitanya Bhagavat, which is a great biography of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, written by Vrindavan Das Thakur, and Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishnadas Goswami. We find information of Lord Nityananda quite extensively. Bhakti Ratnakar, also there we find a lot of information, and a few other texts and different scripts are there which describe him, but it's not clear exactly when he appeared. Differences seem to be there in various texts about the exact year of his appearance, but generally it's understood he appeared about 12 years before Lord Chaitanya appeared. Now, a question, has everyone heard of Lord Chaitanya? Put your hand up if you haven't, because some of you you've never heard of Lord Chaitanya? You've heard of him? Good, yeah, I hope so. You've heard of him? Lord Chaitanya, okay. As you all heard of Lord Nityananda before, besides the poster advertising the program today, do you know something about Lord Nityananda? Everybody's heard of him? Okay, nobody's absolutely unfamiliar. So because sometimes we use names and terms. I remember the first time I read the Mahabharata. I don't know if any of you have read the Mahabharata or not, but I read the Mahabharata about a year before I joined the temple almost. It was before I ever heard of the Hare Krishna movement. And, the names were pretty far out, from an English perspective, Bristadunya and strange names, Nothing compared with what we find in some of the texts, but still it was very strange and hard to relate to. But I just try to put that aside and not be put off by the terms. But it's a good idea to know that some of the terms we use, that you do understand what we're trying to indicate. So if you have any problems, don't hesitate to ask, because we have a tendency, to become conditioned to use certain words and certain phrases. The second question is, can you understand at the back? No. Can you hear? You sure? I don't know if it's clear or not. I find it a little difficult to hear my voice here. Can you hear back there? Can you hear that? Are you sure it's okay? Okay. Let me know if there's any problem, please. So what we're going to start off with is, all of us gathered here today are a little bit familiar. When in the Western world, there's a certain degree of etiquette. When you approach somebody who's considered to be superior by material measure, or somebody special, there may be some etiquette there involved. They used to bow down a little bit, bend your waist, or curtsy if you're in the lady's body. You can't curtsy these days, you're all wearing jeans and things like that, But the old days, the ladies used to wear skirts, dresses, they would curtsy. Have you heard this word, curtsy? I don't know if they still use it or not. It's probably, maybe it's banned these days. Not allowed to say it. It's like, why should I bow down to anyone? But people should, man would go down, or, you'd show some kind of respect. Every culture has it, so. And nowadays they don't, no doubt, go too much into it. In spiritual terms, spiritual culture, spiritual association, there's a whole, Mangalcharan, there's a whole approach before you start, discussing. Don't just go straight into it. You establish all kinds of relationship first before you start. The relationship here is a little different to the material one, you could say. It's more one of appealing for their mercy, glorifying them, establishing them for what they are, and so on and so forth. So these prayers we're going to say now, hope they won't find them too laborious or whatever. We're going to together. We can say them together, by the way, to try to evoke the right attitude in our presentation, in our relationship, and so on, and also to evoke the mercy of Lord Nityananda and his associates. So we shall begin. We're honouring the appearance day of Lord Nityananda. Nityananda, the form of eternal, Nitya, bliss, Ananda, the form of eternal bliss, personification. So the first one, these are mostly from Chaitanya Charitamrita, but not exclusively. What have you got on the screen? Is that Panchatattva? All together, let us not worry, we'll try to chant it nicely together, okay? Are you ready? Panchatatvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Svarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. On the right, I think you all know who they are, Panchatattva. Lord Nityananda being on the left of Lord Chaitanya, second from the left. In the blue dress, Advaita, Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya, Gadadhar, and Srivas. I offer my obeisances unto the Supreme Lord, who is non-different from his features as a devotee, devotional incarnation, devotional manifestation, pure devotee, and devotional energy. These are the 5 features of the Absolute in this particular aspect, the Panchatattva. And the next, we don't have much time to stay on a particular slide unless it's very slide we're going to talk about. All together. Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Mahoditam Bodhadaye Pushpavanto Chitro Shando. I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are like the sun and the moon. They have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of Gauda to dissipate the darkness of ignorance and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon all. And how do they bestow that benediction upon everybody? How do they do it? There you can see what they're doing. Punak punam piyaya haya mahamata nache kande hasagaya yaiche madamata. Madamata. Sounds like a New Zealand name, doesn't it? One of the name of a village in New Zealand, Madamata. Sri Panchatattva themselves danced again and again, and thus made it easier to drink nectarian love of Godhead. They danced, they cried, they laughed and chanted like madmen, and in this way they distributed love of Godhead. Not a bad way to distribute love of God, is it? Better than standing on a pulpit and screaming at everyone, "You're going to hell!" They didn't do that. You get that in New Zealand too?
Yeah.
God, some cities it's like they're really going for it. They danced again and again, and therefore made it easier to drink nectar and love of Godhead. What about that? Going back to Godhead by dancing. Isn't that nice? Wouldn't you like to dance back to Godhead? You don't have to perform. It's not a big austerity, really. I mean, I guess if you have, broken legs, it's pretty tough. Or no legs. But still, in your heart of heart, you can dance. But it's really nice. They danced, and they were like drunkards. Huh? It sounds like they were drunk. They danced, cried, laughed, and chanted like madmen. Such a sweet way of, what a nice process. Most processes require some kind of, maybe very dry or some kind of austerity or some, but nothing very joyful exactly. But this is the most joyful. When people are really happy, this seems to be an indication of their happiness. They laugh, they dance, they cry, they're like madmen. You go to a party. I'm sure that when you were all young, maybe not those from Indian origin, I don't know what you do in India so much, but in the Western world, when you're a kid, you go to parties, right? Young students. Isn't that the highlight of university? You probably all did, even the Indian devotees, if you went to university. Did you go to university? Parties?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you let your hair down and have a good time at the party. Yeah. And just get drunk maybe and just, go crazy. Well, it's a reflection, it's a perverted reflection of the highest truth, perverted reflection of the nature of the soul in relation with Krishna. We're trying to imitate it in this world. But it's a perversion, it's what do you call it, a material reflection. The real thing is here. They actually gave the real thing, and they're dancing and chanting just like a whirlwind. It boom, brings everyone in. When you dance and chant on Harinam and Sankirtan, sometimes some people are ready to come in and they just spin into the kirtan. Everyone's blissful. And there's the Panchatattva again. It's great to see more and more pictures of the Panchatattva in kirtan. Singing, dancing, chanting, sometimes rolling on the ground. Vande Nanta Bhutaishvaryam Shri Nityananda Mishwaram Yasye Chaya Tat Swarupa Magyenapi Nirupyate. Let me offer my obeisances to Lord Sri Nityananda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Well, there's an expansion of Krishna. Krishna is also, he's plenary, he's full. You just have different, you could say slightly different functions, but there's no difference in one sense. Same person, just like sometimes you may also, now Krishna Loka's in the kitchen, she's got a kitchen outfit on, she's cooking, she's not beating a madunga or something, or whatever she does in here. What does she do in here? Does she beat madungas? Does she play madunga? No, she doesn't. Okay, well, whatever she does something different in here. She's not cooking. So the same person, in a sense, but doing different things. By his will, no, we missed something. He is the supreme personality of Godhead, whose opulence is wonderful and unlimited. By his will, even a fool can understand his identity. We've got to get the will of Lord Nityananda. What does that mean? It means we've got to somehow or another receive his favor. His favor. Without his will, no, we cannot get, we can't understand him, nor can we understand Krishna, really. Can't understand anything, practically speaking, about the Absolute without his will. Sankarshana karana toya shahi, garboda shahi, chabayod bishahi, sheshascha yasyang sakalasa nityananda kiramak sharanam mamastu. May, this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, may, at the very beginning, Krishnadas Kaviraj talks about Nityananda Ram, or Nityananda Prabhu. May Sri Nityananda Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. Sankarshan, Sheshanaga, and the Vishnus, who lie on the Karana ocean, the Garbha ocean, and the ocean of milk, are his plenary portions, and the portions of his plenary portions. That means full portions, complete. Portions also, or plenary, expansive portions. The different oceans here, the Karna means the causal ocean, the Garbha is like the universal kind of ocean, or the space that we see with it around us. And the ocean of milk is a very special place where the Super Soul, the localized form of Kshirodakshai Vishnu, resides. So here's a little painting. This was an early painting in ISKCON. All these Purusha avatars, they come from Nityananda. He's the source of all the various avatars. He's the source of the expansions. He's the source of the Chatavyuha of Lord Narayan, Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. He's the source of all of these Purusha, or male expansions. Radharani is the source of the female expansions, Lakshmi Devi being one of them. But he's the source of all the Purushas. He's also the source of the Jiva. Jiva, Tattva, Tatastha, Shakti, they come from Nityananda. Because Nityananda is himself just simply another, when Krishna appears, Radha Krishna themselves appear as Chaitanya, Balaram appears as Nityananda in that particular, say, eternal pastime. So from him expand all, and when in contact with the material universe, this is a rather amazing painting. You see Mahavishnu, the one on the lower side there, and then we see, don't know who we see. We see Lord Brahma expanding from Garbhodakshai Vishnu, who's lying down there with Lakshmi massaging his lotus feet. I don't see Kshirodak, but Kshirodakshai Vishnu is in the Super Soul in everyone's heart. They're all expansions. Vishnu expands into the universe as Garbhodak, and Garbhodak as Kshirodak, and they're all expansions of Lord Nityananda. Maya tite vyapi vaikuntaloke purnaishvaye shri chaturvyuha madhye upam yashodbhati sankarshanakyam tang shri nityanandam ramam papadye. Say with all your hearts, it'll enlighten your heart. You will feel Nityananda appearing within the heart. I surrender unto the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, who is known as Sankarshan in the midst of the Chaturvyuha, consisting of Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. He possesses full opulences and resides in Vaikuntha Loka. Jai, he resides in Vaikuntha Loka. That's where the Chaturvyuha, Sankarshan. Sankarshan is an expansion of Lord Nityananda, and from him come the other expansions like that. That's how it works. Oh, we could have done that, couldn't we? Sorry to put you through trouble. Don't fall down. There we have it. There's beyond the material universe. That's that little blue one in the bottom right-hand corner. That's the material universe is. He's present with us here, don't forget. We just can't see him because we're looking away from him. We're turning away from him. We're looking at the material energy and we're thinking, this is mine, or this is my enjoyment. When we turn towards Lord Nityananda, then we can enter into Vaikuntha, or the spiritual realm. Though on the rest of the painting, it said that 1/4 of the Lord's creative potencies are forming the material universes, and the majority is the spiritual sky with unlimited Vaikuntha planets. There's no limit to 1/4. How big is 1/4? What's the, how many square miles is 1/4? Pardon? How many square miles is 1/4? No, it's fine, thanks. No, I'm fine. No. Pardon?
Under the feet.
No, thank you. No, you're very kind. Thank you so much. Very, very nice. How big is 1/4? I don't mean a measurement of liquid. 1/4, how big is 1/4?
1/4.
Pardon?
1/4.
1/4, very good, that's very, 25%, not 1/4, 25%. But how big is it? How many square miles? Interesting question, huh? We think that's putting a limit on the spiritual realm. Well, if only 3/4 of it is the spiritual realm, but when you consider everything's unlimited, how big is 3/4? It's interesting, isn't it? It just goes out ad infinitum. It's not a quantitative figure. It's qualitative, you could say, but it's not quantitative. You can't measure it. Sometimes we forget that. 1/4 of eternity is immeasurable. Anyway, whatever. There you see it. No end of Vaikuntha planets. Well, why so many? Well, that you have to find out. Each one has its own unique nature, and every living entity has its unique position. Just as we have unlimited varieties of desires and maybe different relationships with people, that's an eternal factor. It comes from Supreme Lord Himself. Maya bhata janda sagang shayangaha shete sakshat karanam bodhi madhye yashaikang shakshri pumanadi devas tang shri Nityananda ramang prapadye. I offer my full obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, whose partial representation called Karanadakshayi Vishnu, lying on the Karana ocean, is the original Purusha, the master of the illusory energy and the shelter of all the universes. That Karanadakshayi Vishnu. There they are, emanating from Mahavishnu, unlimited little bubbles. He breathes out and countless universes emanate from the pores of his form. Each universe itself complete in itself. We're in one of those little tiny bubbles. Imagine, we think we're so big, stuck here on this planet. Here we are. What's it, Victoria Street? What street are we on here?
Vivian.
Pardon?
Vivian.
Vivian Street, number such and such, in one building in Vivian Street, which is one street in Wellington. There's a small street in Wellington, and Wellington is, well, you could say it's a significant spot in New Zealand, but it's a small portion of New Zealand. And New Zealand is certainly not a very major country in the world, so to speak. I don't know how many people, 4 or 5 million here, something like that. Very small percentage of the world population. I don't know the land mass. It's a tiny, tiny percentage of the world's land mass. The world is tiny. How big is this world in comparison to the universe? It's not even a speck of dust, practically speaking. And this universe, as you can see, there are countless billions of universes. Billions, countless. That's just putting it in terms of beyond imagination. Countless universes, and they're also insignificant. It said each universe is like a mustard seed and a stack of mustard seeds, and they're insignificant. And we are sitting here in Vivian Street, in this room, amongst maybe 30, 40, 50 people, and we're thinking, I am the center of the universe. More or less. I mean, you may not say, I'm not, but we are. We're seeing everything in relationship to ourselves. That makes us seeing it in the center of the universe. We think we're in the center. Everything's measured according to where I'm at. Good, bad, or duality is measured according to my system. You may accept what others say too, but we're still seeing it from our perspective. Yasyang shashila garbo dashayi yanabhyajam loka sangatanalam loka shashu shutika damadatus tangshi nityanandam ramam prapadye. I offer my full obeisance unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, a partial part of whom is Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. From the navel of Garbhodakshayi Vishnu sprouts the lotus, that is the birthplace of Brahma, the engineer of the universe. The stem of that lotus is the resting place of the multitude of planets. I wish we had time to go into it. I can't. I'm going on too long on each slide here. And there is Lord Garbhodakshayi Vishnu with Brahma manifesting on the top of the lotus of a stem, coming out of the navel of Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. There's the stem and then the lotus, and there's Lord Brahma. Ya shang 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 shaparatmakilanam poshta Vishnu bhati dudabdishayi shoni bhatayat kalasopyanantas tang Shri Nityananda Ramam Papajay. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, whose secondary part is the Vishnu lying in the ocean of milk. That Kshirodakshayi Vishnu is the super soul of all living entities and the maintainer of all the universes. Sheshanaga is his further subpart, another expansion of Nityananda. And there he is, the super soul. What an amazing painting. Hare Krishna. He's in our hearts, we just can't see him. And from Chaitanya Bhagavat. Sangsarera parahai bhaktira sagare yedu vivese bujuka nitai chandere. Those who wish to cross the ocean of material existence and drown in the ocean of devotional service should worship Lord Nityananda. So let us worship him. Nityananda mahang nomi sarvananda karam param harinama padam devam avaduta shiromanim. This is the general pranam, worship, mantra, Bij mantra for worshipping Lord Nityananda. I bow down to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who is the awarder of the highest joy of all, the bestower of the holy name, and the crest jewel of all Paramahamsa mendicants. That means the topmost. Paramahamsa means topmost, swan-like. They're transcendentalists, completely above the material nature. Mendicants mean what they can. It means that they're renunciates, they're living lives of saintly lives. And there's Nityananda Prabhu, that Paramahamsa, topmost Paramahamsa mendicant. He's also known as Avaduta, which means unpredictable, not in any way, let's say, monitored by any rules or regulations. He's completely spontaneous, unpredictable, and beyond any kind of reaction of any kind whatsoever. Totally transcendental. The lotus feet, Nitai Padakamala, Koti Chandra Shushita. The lotus feet of Lord Nityananda are cooling like millions of moons. You can hardly imagine. The full moon is very cooling. When you go out on a full moon night, we may not perceive it in that full sense, but it does. It has a very cooling effect. What to speak of millions of moons. Everyone's blazing in this material world, the fire of material existence, isn't it? We sing in the morning, Samsara Dava, Nalalita Loka. We're all blazing in this material existence. By the mercy of the spiritual master, that fire is extinguished. So Lord Nityananda is the cause of that extinguishing of the fire. His lotus feet. The pure devotee of the Lord, in our line at least, means those who are taking shelter of Lord Nityananda's lotus feet. So that's what makes one, you could say, eligible to give or to relieve others of that blazing fire of material existence. Because someone's taken shelter of those lotus feet. Which can relieve us of the distress. So let us sing a beautiful bhajan, Nitai Pada Kamalam. It's on the screen? Yeah. Madanga, please. Harmonium, please. Where's the harmonium? Maybe Rasika can play the harmonium since she knows my voice. Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Fushitala Kamala Koti Chandra Fushitala Jechayai Jagata Jurai Jechayai He no nittai bine bai Radha Krishna paite nai He no nittai bine bai Radha Krishna paite nai Dvita kori daro nitai pai Dvita kori You have it on the screen? Yeah. Can some guy, can you come and sit here? And when necessary, press the buttons, huh? So I don't have to keep stopping. Don't do anything right now. You'll see if you use your intelligence and you'll see when to do it. The lotus feet of Sri Nityananda are as cool as millions of moons. The whole universe gets peace by the shade of those lotus feet. Without the mercy of Sri Nityananda, nobody can get Radha and Krishna, the aim of human life. Therefore, catch hold of the two lotus feet of Sri Nityananda, Nityananda Prabhu, very tightly. Se sambandha nahi cha, preta janma gelo tha. Bolo. Se sambandha nahi cha, se pashu boro chura chara, se pashu Nitai na bolilo mukhe Machilo samsara sukhe Nitai na bolilo mukhe Machilo samsara Vidya kule Hiko uribe tara Vidya kule One who has not established a relationship with Sri Nityananda is a two-legged animal, a great beast. His whole life is finished. This is how you have to preach. You have to go out and tell people, you are a great beast. This will definitely impress them. They will be very convinced. You are worse than a two-legged animal. No, we don't do that, but we should understand that life without Nityananda is no different than that of an animal. He never utters the name of Sri Nityananda. He is always immersed in enjoying material happiness and has forgotten Sri Nitai. He may have acquired all material scholarship and learning, but what is the value of such education? This will never help. Ahankare matto hoya Nitai parapasuriya Ahankare matto hoya Asatyere Satya Kauri Mani Asatyere Satya Kauri Mani Nitaya Karuna Me Raji Radha Krishna Bhave Nitaya Karuna Me Raji Radha Krishna Bhave Doro Nitai Charana Dukkani Dharanitai Sharanadu Kani. They are so puffed up with their mundane education and scholarship. They are never humble at all. They've forgotten the lotus feet of Sri Nitai because of their false ego and pride. They are completely under the clutches of Maya. They accept the untruth as truth. If Sri Nityananda showers his mercy upon someone, he will get Shri Radha Krishna in Brajabhumi. So catch hold of the two lotus feet of Lord Nityananda very tightly. One thing we should realize is this is not just an address to the people outside of this room. It may also apply to us. We're not so great. We see you as great, but individually we shouldn't see ourselves as so great. We also have these tendencies. Nitaya charana satya Tanhara sevaka nitya Nitai para sadakoro asha Narutam boroduki Nitai more korosuki Naratama Rako Ranga Charana Rako Ranga Charana The lotus feet of Sri Nityananda are eternally true. And those followers or servants of those lotus feet of Sri Nityananda are also eternal. Always aspire for the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda. Srila Narottam Das Thakur says, I am very distressed and an unhappy person. I'm drowning in this dreadful ocean of material existence. Oh, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, please make me very happy. Please keep me at your lotus feet. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram. Go Premanande! Nitai Padakamala Ki Jai. Very difficult to stop chanting. Sometimes we say it's very difficult to start chanting, but here we say it's very difficult to stop chanting. Stop chanting! Sometimes people say, even Madai said that, he said, stop it, stop. Shankari says stop. We don't stop. A little spelling mistake here. It should be R, not Ha. Hridai Pandita Tanuja Kripa Samudra Padmavati Tanaya Tirtha Padaravinda Tam Prema Kalpatarorati Haravataro Mampahi Pamaram Manatam Mananya Bandum. Now we're going to be coming into step-lead slowly into a little bit about Lord Nityananda. We've heard a bit about his origins, the tattva, and so on, and his mercy. Now we'll be moving a little bit into his pastimes after a few verses. O son of Padmavati and Hadai Pandit, ocean of grace, whose lotus feet are veritably places of pilgrimage. You are the remover of distress, the desired tree of divine love. I am a vile wretch with no master and no other friend. Please save me. Sriman Nityananda Chandraya Namaha. Just one line from the many verses compiled by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Different names of Nityananda. I offer my humble obeisances to the transcendental moon, Lord Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Nityanandam aham bande karne lambita muktikam Chaitanya rupena pavitri krita bhutalam. I humbly bow down to and glorify Lord Sri Nityananda Prabhu, on whose beautiful left lotus ear one elegant pearl ornament is swinging, accepting the role as the elder brother of the Supreme Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Lord Nityananda Prabhu sanctified the whole world and purified all living entities. There he is, with his beautiful earring. Beautiful form of Lord Nityananda. Mage masisite pakshi trayodasyan tito sada uposanam pujanam cha Sri Nityananda vasare yad yat sakurate kamam tata deva lakennara. One who fasts, well, this is on Monday, of course. One who fasts without deviation and offers worship on the appearance day of Sri Nityananda, which is the 13th day of the bright fortnight in the month of Magh, will receive whatever wish one may desire. So be careful if you do that. Make sure your wish is the right one. Nityananda balite hai Krishna premodai olaya sakala anga ashu ganga vaya. Simply by talking of Nityananda Prabhu, one awakens his love for Krishna. Thus all of his bodily limbs are agitated by ecstasy, and tears flow from his eyes like the waters of the Ganges. So now we're going to a little bit of an overview, we could say, of Lord Nityananda's transcendental pastimes. By hearing about the activities and pastimes of the Lord, one's heart becomes purified. One achieves by glorifying Lord Nityananda, we hope and pray that we may get some shelter at his lotus feet, shade from this illusion that we're in. He appeared in this world, as we heard earlier on, approximately, it may not be exact, but most of the, let's say, acharyas say in the year, Western calendar, 1474, 12 years prior to the appearance of Lord Nityananda. Some say it's a little bit later. But whatever it was before Lord Chaitanya, that's for sure. And he appeared in a wonderful place, and some of you have been there, it's called Ekachakra Dham. Have any of you been to the village of Ekachakra? 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 3 or 4. When you go to Mayapur, many of you have been to Mayapur, I'm sure you've heard of the term at least, the holy place of Lord Chaitanya's birth. Quite a distance from there. It takes, I don't know how long it takes, several hours, if you go by car or bus, to reach Ekachakra. It's maybe 100 kilometers distance from Mayapur. If you do have a mobile, please turn it on. Please put it on loud sound as you can. And send some text to people, tell them to give you a call as much as possible in the next 45 minutes. Okay. Thank you. Is that okay? Make sure your mobile is not on flight mode, whatever you do. Alternatively, you can put it outside somewhere. So, you know, we're a little bit short of a penny or two here at the Bhakti Lounge. We can collect a few pennies maybe afterwards for the mobiles. So he appeared in this village called Ekachakra, a very special place. Now it's all modernized. ISKCON has moved in. And there's hotels, guest houses, big temples, even roads. I think even electricity is there. I haven't been there since they did all that. I was a long time back. I haven't been actually. When I was there was no electricity, there were no roads, there were no cars, there were no televisions, no mobiles, no nothing. No electric lights at all. Not one in the whole village. It was really amazing, absolutely amazing. You could almost feel you were there, in that village as it was, almost. Of course, there were brick buildings and stuff, but they had brick then also. And he appeared. This is the, you could say, the commemorative little memorial, the place where he appeared. When he appeared on that 13th day of the month of Magh, that this day, there's a deity nearby, I've forgotten the name, it's the deity of Lord Shiva. And it said that the deity of Lord Shiva, when Lord Nityananda appeared as the son of Hadai Pandit and Padmavati, these two very extremely great devotees of Lord Brahmin family, when Lord Nityananda appeared as their son, that the deity of Shiva, Lord Shiva suddenly exploded, practically, roared so loudly the whole earth shook. Practically, the deity just roared at the top of his voice, Lord Shiva, roared. And even in Navadvip and Vetachara and other devotees, they could hear it, and they realized, aha, of course they knew, Veda knew and a few others knew, that before Lord Chaitanya would appear, that his expansion, Balaram, would appear, and they knew this means that he's appeared. Nityananda's appeared now. And they were very enlightened and very joyful. So he appeared in that village, very remote place, and very quiet, this very special place, very unique. I haven't been there for probably 30 years, I don't know. We used to go sometime. And he was very, very much, his parents, they just idolized him. Well, you can understand, if you had God as your son, even if you don't have God as your son, you still idolize him. And, it was like they couldn't bear being a moment without seeing him, practically. It was almost unbearable. And he especially liked, his favorite pastimes of Lord Nityananda were enacting dramas. Unfortunately, tonight we don't have time for drama. He used to love dramas. And he would gather all the boys in the village, and they would perform all dramas. Not like in the Western world, some concocted drama. They would perform dramas of the Lord's pastimes. So realistically, it was unbelievable. All the adults were captivated by these dramas, these dramatic pastimes. And sometimes they'd ask him, Nitai, we've never told you about these pastimes. How did you find out about them? And he would answer, they are my pastimes. They are my pastimes. Because he was Balaram in Krishna Lila. So especially he liked to play that role. And sometimes they would enact the pastime of Ram Lila. So he would take Lakshman, the role of Lakshman. Lakshman is an expansion of Balaram, and the Lord expands in his various forms in all the various pastimes. They all have a certain connection there. So in Gaur Lila also, the Lord expands like this, Balaram, expands as Nityananda. So he takes these various roles, and these dramatic performances were so captivating everyone. There he is, taking various parts in drama. Yes. And that went on for around about 12 years. He resided in Ekachakra. And his father would go everywhere with him. He said his body was like white as milk and as soft as cream, soft butter. His father couldn't let go of him for a moment. But then after about 12 years, nothing unusual, a very saintly sannyasi appeared in the village, and Adai Pandit naturally facilitated the sannyasi very nicely during his stay. And as the sannyasi was about to leave, he asked Adai Pandit, can I please ask something from you? And Adai Pandit said, of course, whatever you request, I will try to provide. And the sannyasi said, well, I'm traveling all over India, everywhere, and it's very difficult sometimes. I have no assistance. I have no servant of any kind. Difficult. I need somebody to help me. And I think your son, he only had one son, your son is an ideal companion. could you please give me your son? I will look after him just like as if he's my son. And he will be very happy seeing all the holy places of pilgrimage throughout the holy lands. Can you imagine how Hadai Pandit and Padmavati felt? So be careful. There's lessons on every sentence, but here's a lesson. If you say somebody, how can I serve you? Just, bear in mind, because it's not exactly an absolute promise you can say, because you may not be able to serve them like that, but just be careful. If we ask Guru or something, Guru Maharaj, please, tell me what to do. They tell you what to do and you don't want to do it. Maharaj, I can't do that. Can you ask me to do something else? Oh, I can't do that either. What you're really saying is, please tell me to do what I want to do. And then I can tell everyone else, my Guru Maharaj told me I should do this. Have you ever heard of that one before? Guru Maharaj has probably also experienced that sometimes. We want our Guru to see things the way we see it, not the way that it is. Huh? Okay, there we go. So Hadai Pandit was devastated, but being an upright, honest Brahmin, what could he do? The same thing happened, and it's the same thing really. Ramachandra, when Vishwamitra asked Dasaratha for his son, Dasaratha was devastated also. But this was it. And in this case, of course, the sannyasi meant real business. It wasn't just for a short while. So Hadai Pandit had to agree, although he was falling on the ground and fainting and crying, and he had to agree. And Nityananda happily went off with the sannyasi. So we learn from here that sooner or later that, we're also going to have to go off if we've not already gone off. We're all going to have to go off. This body only lasts a short while. Relationships only last a short while, don't they? It may look a little long from the material perspective, 50 years, 70 years, whatever it may be. But it's nothing. It's just a flash in time. That's the end of it. Whether it's now or whether it's in 10, 20 years, that's why Vedic society emphasized, at least amongst the cultured members of society, renunciation of this material entanglement. So he left, and the other aspect of it is, of course, is a higher aspect, not just showing the, you could say the Varna Ashram aspect of leaving it, because he left early, that human life is meant just to hang around in family life forevermore, and just try to enjoy the senses and the family and what have you, which in most cases it will be, but that's not the goal of life. But the goal of life is to be focused or to be completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So Nityananda therefore absorbed everyone. He just drowned everyone in the mood of Vipalamba. Vipalamba is the mood of separation, the very intensive mood of focusing on the object of one's love in separation is even more intense than when one's together. So he just drowned them all in separation. Of course, for Hadai Pandit, this was too much. He just gave up his body after a few days. He couldn't live without his son. But that also sounds very sad from the material point of view. This is awful. Really, this is a horrible story. What type of religion is this, What type of appearance, what type of celebration is this? This is terrible. Because people think they're the body. People think that all there is to life is this lifetime and this material body, but it's not. It's eternal. Hadai Pandit, of course, the unmanifest. He left. He became unmanifest. Put it like that. But he's eternally with Lord Nityananda. He's eternally the father of Balaram. Eternally. It's not like that's the end of that. It's just that he's not showing it to this world anymore. That's all. So the sannyasi took him away, much to the distress, and he wandered all over India with this great sannyasi. Whoever, it's not said who he is, some say he's Lakshmipati Tirtha, but it's not confirmed. Whoever sees the youthful Nityananda, whose beauty attracts the whole world, feels his eyes coolly refreshed. Wherever Lord Nityananda went, people came rushing to see him with agitated hearts. And doesn't mean they were angry, it means that they were eager, overwhelmed to get his association. By association they become, we change, we become enlivened, we become blissful, whatever it is. Majestically walking like the best of elephants, Nityananda distributed the Lord's mercy to everyone, just as he traveled in Dwapara Yuga in the form of Baladev. Now he traveled in the same way to all the holy places, or tirthas, going everywhere, north, south, east, and west with his sannyasi. They went everywhere, and eventually they came to a place called Pandharpur. Some of you have heard of Pandharpur, the beautiful holy place in Maharashtra on the river Bhima, River Bhima. And in that place, a very famous place, there's a beautiful deity of Vitala. Pandarangam, 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 Pandarangam. They all chant. The Lord who's standing on a brick. It's a long story, won't tell. Standing on a brick there. And he went to that holy place. And in that holy place, it just so happened, there was one disciple of Madhavendra Puri. His name was Rangapuri, residing there. So Nityananda met him. He stayed in Rangapuri. He stayed in. By this time, it appears there are two different stories. So whatever it was, whether it is with that sannyasi or not, is not clear. But anyway, whatever it was, he was there in Pandharpur, staying in the house of Rangapuri. And so Rangapuri was a disciple, not of Madhavendra Puri, is a disciple Lakshmipati, who was a great devotee and who was the spiritual master of Madhavendra Puri. So they were staying there together, and Nityananda was actually basically hiding in the house. And it so happened that Lakshmipati Tirtha was visiting that Pandharpur at that time too. So he went to see his disciple, Rangapuri, and he felt when he came to the house that he felt something different, very special. Is some great personality here? Somebody here? No. Anyway, something was unusual. So Lakshmipati Tirtha, that night he was up all night meditating and worshipping. He was a worshipper of Lord Balaram. He was a Baladev, this devotee. And all night he worshipped. Then suddenly he fell asleep. And his Lord Balaram came into his sleep. And he said, "Tomorrow, my dear devotee, you will meet a young, effulgent sannyasi, or renunciate. And I want you to initiate him with this mantra." And Lord Balaram whispered the mantra into Lakshmipati Tirtha's ear. Lakshmipati Tirtha woke up. It may have only been a moment. He just, how it is, sometimes you doze off. Wow, what is this? My Lord Baladev. Oh. So then the next morning he went to see Rangapuri again, and as he approached, Nityananda suddenly appeared. He was stunned to see the beautiful, effulgent form of this young man, this renunciate. He was stunned, avadut. Nityananda immediately bowed down when he saw Lakshmipati Tirtha, begged him, "Please initiate me." Everything just fitted. So there and then, he initiated, Lakshmipati Tirtha initiated Nityananda, and he whispered the mantra into his ear. Of course, Nityananda was the source of that mantra. He kind of initiated himself in one sense, but he's teaching the importance that even if one is a Supreme Lord, one still needs to be initiated in order to attain the perfection of life. So after that that night, Nityananda then left Pandharpur and went in some other direction. But that night, Lakshmipati Tirtha, again Balaram appeared, and he appeared before Rangapuri, and suddenly he transformed himself into that same Nityananda that he'd just given the mantra to. So Rangapuri was overwhelmed in ecstasy. I think shortly after that he left his body. He was very old. Nityananda then, after a short while of journeying on his pilgrimage, he met with Madhavendra Puri, and unfortunately we don't have time to tell it. But there's a long, beautiful recitation here of their wonderful meeting between Lord Nityananda, which you won't find in Chaitanya Bhagavad or Chaitanya Charitamrita, I think. I'm not sure this is in Bhakti Ratnakara. It's in one other text which describes this meeting. And there they are. When they met, they both realizing each other. Madhavendra Puri was also a disciple of Lakshmipati Tirtha, so they were like godbrothers, but they actually just fainted. They swooned away as they saw each other in ecstasy. Because look, Madhavendra Puri was the first one who revealed conjugal love. He's said to be the seed of the tree of Madhurya Ras in this world. So Nityananda, when he saw him, he was overwhelmed in complete ecstasy. And they spent hours ecstatically embracing each other, crying, dancing, rolling on the ground together. They were overwhelmed. It's like sometimes when you meet an old friend, or an old enemy. If you meet an old enemy, you may also roll on the ground and embrace each other in various ways. Maybe not so lovingly, but looks similar. And when you meet a good friend, you may also embrace each other and maybe not roll on the ground, maybe sometimes, I don't know. But you're in ecstasy, sometimes you cry, isn't it? You meet your, especially family members. You cry and so on and so forth. This is an eternal relationship, of course, so they were in ecstasy. Anyway, there we go. Here, standing on end and so on. We'll have to jump over. So he continued on his pilgrimage, and eventually he arrived in Vrindavan. There's a place in Vrindavan. Those who've been to Vrindavan will obviously have been to the Radha Damodar temple. I mean, if you're going to Vrindavan, it's rare that a devotee doesn't go to the Radha Damodar temple. It's like the home of our movement in many ways, isn't it? Where Prabhupada said he eternally resides there in his rooms in the Radha Damodar temple. Prabhupada lived there for many years. Started his mission in many ways there on the order of his Guru Dev by compiling the Srimad Bhagavatam. Much of that was done in the Radha Damodar temple. Many things took place there. Rupa Goswami empowered him and so on. Very close to there, between there and the river Jamuna, is another temple called Sringaravat. That's the place Nityananda resided there. So he spent quite a while there in Vrindavan. He kind of you could say, hiding himself. But he would often go to the bank of the Yamuna and play with the Kara boys. He would reenact Kara boy pastimes. He was really living, you could say, in Vraj Leela when he was there. And he stayed there purposely. Of course, when he appeared, as it's said that actually when he left home was two different accounts, but so one account says more or less at the same time, the other says a bit later, but whatever it was, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he appeared in this world, he said that Lord Nityananda roared just like the deity of Lord Shiva. He roared so loudly, people thought it was like, there was an earthquake throughout the universe or something when Lord Chaitanya appeared. Thus, we may say, oh, this is just all hearsay. We may not be able to hear it, whatever you want to say, but this is how Lord Nityananda reciprocated with Mahaprabhu's appearance. And shortly after that, if not at that time, he left Ekachakra. For 20 years, he was traveling or residing in Vrindavan for 20 years. Another thing happened, I slipped. When he was in Pandharpur, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's elder brother, whose name was Vishwarupa, he'd already left home. He left home, Lord Chaitanya's brother Vishwarupa left home and basically took sannyas. And Vishwarupa ended up in Pandharpur also. He left his body. Lord Nityananda found out that Vishwarupa left his body in Pandharpur. And when he was there, it said that Vishwarupa, the personality of Vishwarupa, Lord Chaitanya's actual brother, merged into the form of Nityananda. So he is literally the brother of Lord Chaitanya, as well as, eternally, so to speak. But he literally was also. So Nityananda, after that, was, you could say, a combined form of Vishwarupa and Nitai, in that sense. They're the same person, just in different forms. So he resided there for approximately, not there, he resided in different places, but he traveled for about 20 years And it was only when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got initiated by Ishvara Puri that he decided to come back to Nadia, or back to Bengal. Because for the first 20 years of Lord Chaitanya's appearance, Lord Chaitanya was not manifesting his external reasons. He was performing his internal, or his pastimes, not internal exactly, but he was performing his pastimes with his Kara boyfriends, scholastic pastimes, mischievous pastimes, hiding his identity in that way. Then after initiation with Ishvara Puri, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was completely, you could say, it seemed like a transformed person. He was no longer that argumentative, seemingly proud, wrangling pandit, he causing no end of mischief. And now he was a humble sort of servant of the Vaishnavas, and totally absorbed in the mood of glorification of Krishna. No more, gyan or anything else. Completely absorbed in Krishna, like a different person. So at that moment, Lord Nityananda decided to come back to Navadvip, because now was the time for their meeting. It was the time now for the Sankirtan movement to begin. So their meeting, he first of all stayed in the house of Nandana Acharya on the edge of Mayapur, Navadvip. And nobody knew he was there. Only Lord Chaitanya knew. Nobody else knew anything about Nityananda anyway, practically. Not in Navadvip anyway. So he was hiding there in the house of Nandana Acharya. And that day when he arrived, that night, Lord Chaitanya talked to his devotees in Mayapur and said that, a great personality has arrived here, and so on and so forth. But there's another thing, that that night, Lord Chaitanya, first of all, he had a vision of a great personality suddenly appeared at his door on a chariot. He appeared there, and he was wandering here and there. Where is the house of Nimai Pandit? Where is the house of Nimai Pandit? In the morning, he told his devotees about this, and he said that this great personality has arrived. You have to go and find him and bring him here. So he sent out Haridas, Srivas, and others all over Navadvip to see if they could find him. Nobody could find anywhere such a personality that was described by Mahaprabhu. No one could find him. So then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself took the devotees, and they went straight to the house of Nandana Acharya, and then the great meeting between Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda took place. And again, there is a nice description. We don't have it here. We're not going to read it. It takes a little too long. Of their ecstatic meeting. It was similar to the meeting with Madhavendra Puri in many ways. Their ecstatic union. And that was the beginning, basically speaking, this union between Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. The Sankirtan movement from there on really awoke. Nityananda Gaura Chandra Doni Darashan Ihara Shravanihai Bandavi Mochan. Anyone who hears about the meeting between Nityananda and Gaur Chandra is freed from material bondage. There you go. So let's read about it. It's wonderful. I think it's in Bhakti Ratnakara. Shri Gohari said, "All glories to you, O son of Rohini. I am controlled by you. If anyone even once chants the name Nityananda, they will become purified. I will immediately accept that person as my own." That's in the Chaitanya Mangala. Lochandas. And then the Sankirtan began dancing in ecstasy, embracing, just immersing everyone in the ocean of bhakti, of devotion. Lord Nityananda was very eccentric. When he was thus living then in Navadvip, in Mayapur, Mother Sachi accepted him practically as Vishrup, as her second son. But he was a very unpredictable avadut. Nobody could tell what he was. He would do all sorts of things. He would go to the river Yamuna and play with crocodiles. He would slash them, ride on their backs and all sorts of things. He would go up to the young girls and just say, "Marry me," like that. They would be, young girls. He wouldn't be in good shape in today's modern society. He would get in trouble. But he was like this, completely unpredictable. He would grab hold of a bull and start trying to milk the bull and all sorts of things. He did all kinds of eccentric things. And sometimes he would wear his his underwear on his head. He'd walk about naked. Even Nimai would have to try to admonish him. What are you doing? He tried to straighten him up, but he would always have a good answer to whatever anyone said to him. He was amazing. But their main activity, of course, at least amongst the public, was Sankirtan. They would go everywhere. Shuno Shuno Nityananda Shuno Haridas Savatra Amara Agya Koroho Prakash Pati Gare Gare Giya Korohe Bhiksha Bola Krishna Bhajo Krishna Kora Krishna Siksha Bola Krishna Bhajo Krishna Kora Krishna Siksha Iha Bhaya Navaliba Bola Iba Dina Afasane Ase Amare Kohiba. Yes, must be from Chaitanya Mangala, I say. It's all written in song form. Listen, listen, Nityananda. Listen, Haridas. Make my command known everywhere. Go from house to house and beg from all the residents. Please chant Krishna's name. Worship Krishna. Teach others to follow Krishna's instructions. Do not speak or cause anyone to speak anything other than this. Nadia Godume Nityananda Mahajan. Nadia Godume Nityananda Mahajan. Patiyachi Namahata Jivarakaran. Bolo. Patiyachi Namahata Jivarakaran. Nadia Godume Nityananda Mahajan. Nadia Godume Nityananda. Shadavanjane, Shadavanjane, Shadavanjane. In the land of Nadia, on the island of Godruma, the magnanimous Lord Nityananda has opened up the marketplace of the holy name, meant for the deliverance of all fallen souls. Prabhuragai Bhai Magi Bhiksha Bolo Prabhuragai Magi Bhiksha Bola Krishna Bhajo Krishna Koro Krishna Shiksha. Oh people of faith, oh people of faith, by the order of Lord Gauranga, oh brothers, I beg these three requests of you. Chant Krishna, worship Krishna, teach others about Krishna. Aparada shunya hoye lo Krishna nam. Aparada shunya hoye lo Krishna nam. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Banapran. Going up! Being careful to remain free of offenses. Just take the holy name of Lord Krishna. Krishna is your mother. Krishna is your father. Krishna is the treasure of your life. Krishna da sansara koro chadi anachar. Krishna sansara koro chadi anachar. Jivedaya Krishna nama sarvadama. Giving up all sinful activities, carry on your worldly duties only in relation to Lord Krishna. The showing of compassion to other souls by loudly chanting the holy name of Krishna is the essence of all forms of religion. Oh, Nadia Godume Nityananda Mahajan. Nadia Godume Patiyate Nam Hatha Jivarakaran. Patiyate Nam Hatha Jivarakaran. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. the holy name. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Oh, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram. Every village, every marketplace, Nityananda would go along with Haridas. Chant Hare Krishna. Never will I chant Hare Krishna. You've chanted the holy names. Haribo. Someone else getting everyone to chant. But they came to one marketplace. And there were two very special personalities there. What is this? What is going on here, they said. There were these two persons. This is, of course, the one you normally do a drama. We can do a very quick skit. It'll be just as quick as telling a story. You can't have Nityananda trayodasi without this. Impossible. We're never going to get halfway through this presentation, by the way. We're not even halfway through. Who would like to be Lord Nityananda? Okay, who would like to be Lord Nityananda? Somebody who knows the story. You've got to know the story, otherwise it won't work, isn't it? Huh? Come on. Come on, who's the brave fool? Brave soul. I think Gaurchandra looks like Nityananda. He's dressed in blue. Come on, you can do it. Come on, up. Your wife's a good actor. She's good at drama. I'm sure you must have heard of drama. Come on, you make it. What about Rasa Rasika? He looks like a pretty good actor. You give Rami to your better half for a few minutes. Come on, you can handle it without you for 5 minutes. We'd be happy to see you. So, I think Gaurchandra, does he make a good Nityananda or not?
I don't think Maharaj.
What are you better at? What's he better at? I know what Rasa Rasika is good at. Come on, who would you like to be? Jagai is nobody. He has no part to play hardly.
I don't mind, Maharaj. Whoever you'd like me to be.
Huh? Okay. One more actor. Huh? Okay, come on, if he knows the storyline. Come on, get up, everybody. They always point the finger at you. I don't know why. Huh? Come on over here. Come over here. Don't knock the microphones and cameras over. Sort of there, I suppose. Move the camera if you can a little bit, so it's not so prominent. Especially that one. Move it back. There they are. Okay. Oh, I don't know if you make the best.
Yeah.
You look more like Jagai Yamada, you two. Come on. Where's your bottle? Where's your liquor? Here you go, I'll finish this up. Catch this, catch it. Okay. Nalai, that guy over there, come on, get him, get that guy there, that one, get him, beat him up, take his money, come on. Give us your money. Got it. Don't touch those girls over there. Whatever you do, you'll be in trouble. You'll be in real trouble if you touch them. Those ones over there, come on, go for them. Beat them up. Give him the sauce. Lay him flat. Put him on the ground, guy. Come on. Beat him. Not I! You, come on, Nityananda, stand up. You're over there, okay? Where's your buddy? Where's your Haridas? Come on, Hari. Where's Hari? Come on, Haridas, come forward. Come on, quick, we haven't got time to pee around here. Stand up, come on, go over there. No time to waste. Meanwhile, Nityananda and Haridas are wondering, who are these two characters? What is going on here? They inquire from the local sheriff. There he is, right there, that man in blue. Hey, what's going on here?
Who are these guys?
Who are they? Oh, no. Oh, dear. Oh, my. Oh, Nitai. Oh, Haridas. Who are they? Go on, tell us.
Keep away from these guys. They're trouble. They cause a disturbance everywhere. They're a discredit to the Brahmin family.
Everywhere.
Do about it, but be careful.
Don't go near. But we have come here to deliver everyone on the order of Lord Mahaprabhu. We have to try at least to deliver them. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Stop now! Who are you guys? Come on, over here. Come back over here. Come forward, you two. You're coming forward. Please chant. Please chant. Please chant. Come on, louder. Oh, God. Who are you guys? Go on. No, get out of here. Go away. Get out. Hit him. Get rid of these. Avadota, bash him on the head. Hit him with your cup. Quick, bash him. You're not playing the role, you two guys. Come on. You're supposed to be... Come on, you never read the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Come back here, Nityananda. You don't run away. Come on, you're trying to get them to chant. Please, please, I don't care what you say. Please chant. Chant! I'll give you chanting. Take this! What's the longest story? We don't have to tell it all. Much longer. Oh, blood. Where's the blood? Come on, hit him harder. There's no blood. It's not very realistic, this one. Immediately, well, we got near Lord Chaitanya. Where's Lord Chaitanya? You look like Lord Chaitanya. Come on, stand up. No, the one in front. I don't know your name. The one in front, the young man in front there. Yeah, you look very important. There he is. Come on, stand up. Immediately, Lord Chaitanya, understanding what's happened to his beloved Nitai, flies to the scene. Whoa! With his Sudarshan chakra. Come on, more dramatic than that. Come on. What are you doing there? Looks like you're trying to catch a butterfly. Nityananda, stay. You've never read this. This is the problem. No one knows about Lord Chaitanya. You read all the other books, but the most important thing is Lord Chaitanya. The most important thing in existence is Lord Chaitanya and his mission. The Bhagavatam is simply, they say, the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whatever you want to call it. You're there. You've just been bashed on the head, and Nityananda, Madai is about to go at you again. But keep your cup. Keep the cup. Keep the cup. You're about to bash him with another one. Get him! Get this out of it. No, Jagai, stop! Jagai tries to stop him. No, because Nitai is saying, I don't mind whatever you do. I simply humbly beg you, please chant Hare Krishna. Even if you do beat me, please chant Hare Krishna. Jagai comes to his senses and holds him back. But Madai's fuming. Get him! Get him! And Lord Chaitanya, swirling, comes in with his disc. Whoa! Oh, you're going to be more dramatic. Come on. Get into it, man. Get into it. Let go. How dare you? And then, Nityananda holds him back. Hold him back.
Oh, Lord, please.
No, my Lord. Please. Do not kill him. Please don't kill him. In this age we have come to deliver the most fallen. You are Patita Pavana, the deliverer of the most fallen. If we kill these two, we have to kill everyone, because practically everyone is a Jagai and Madai. And Lord Chaitanya said it. Okay, Nityananda, you are so merciful, but I will only forgive them. I will forgive Jagai because he protected you from Madai. But I will not forgive Madai unless he falls at your feet and begs through a shelter. And then you pick him up and embrace him. Haribol. Well, it's 6:30 and at least Lord, one person has been delivered. Now we have to go and deliver more, I guess. We've hardly started the show. See, it's a little bit more dramatic. I should have showed the picture first. You could have got the idea a bit more there. What to do. Okay. Hare Krishna. That's it. We got to 6:30 now. We got to go. Is that right? We hit the road on Harinam Sankirtan. If we had time, we would show another 66. Yeah, we're exactly halfway through now. And that's like just over. Another 60-something slides to go. Many lessons to learn. It's beautiful description afterwards of Jagai and Madai, how they surrendered to Lord Nityananda and how he showered his mercy on them. And how Lord Nityananda, of course, many other pastimes in the house of the Vaitacharya and on their way to Puri, how Lord Nityananda broke the sannyas staff of Lord Chaitanya, and that's a major lesson to learn. Don't have time. Then they went to Puri, entered into Puri, and Nityananda was there with Lord Chaitanya, and so on. So Lord Chaitanya sent him back to Bengal to preach, and the Panihati festival, how he delivered all the dacoits and thieves and rogues, and so on and so forth. So many pastimes are there, lessons to learn. But let us go out now, whatever we are, whoever we are, let us go out and try to give this mercy of Nityananda to the lucky souls of, I don't know where we're going, somewhere in Wellington. Where are we going? Cuba Mall, or where are we going?
Cuba, Courtney Place.
Pardon?
Cuba Street and Courtney Place.
Cuba Street, then Courtney?
Courtney Place.
Courtney Place, okay. We're going to go to Cuba Street and Courtney Place. Let us go. We're going to hit the road for 1 hour, bring books,